February gone, I bought myself my own little Italian house in northern Italy, not far from a little Roman village called Acqui Terme. I paid €33,000. Including fees, it came to €45,000. So that's 74,000 in Australian dollars and 52,800 in American dollars. Today, I'm going to take you through the whole house. I'm going to take you to the attic upstairs, to the stone cellar downstairs, and I'm also going to show you through the garden sheds. First up, you have these lovely double glass doors. Now they've got the metal covering the glass for safety. A little light up the front, which is very handy. Now lots of cobwebs still around, so I haven't had a chance to clean them. And I still need to do a lot of cleaning inside too. Coming in, you've got the entry. To one side's the dining, the other is the lounge. Now, once I got in and started cleaning, I did notice this very severe, see that crack? Now that crack goes all the way up. It goes across the window. Actually goes right round the window. And then it goes all the way up here. So I'm hoping that's not structural damage. I'm hoping that's just plasterboard. I was super lucky that the owners left pretty much all the furniture. So what you see now came with the house. Lovely piece of furniture, some clay trinkets, a window, as you can see below. Now, because of that crack, this door, which is gorgeous, doesn't close. Just keeps popping. A beautiful door. Walking in. Now I'll open the shutters. So you've got this great big window and a marble windowsill, which is really nice. Now, let's just open up. Now, as you can see, lots of cobwebs still. And excuse the bins, I'm in the middle of cleaning, but heaps of bright sunlight coming straight in. So the window is south-facing. I keep getting confused because in Australia, north-facing is the best orientation because that's where you get all the sun. But obviously in Europe, it changes around and south-facing is the sun side. So the whole house faces south. So I get sun all day long, which is fantastic. So dining room, they've left the table, the chairs, the really funky 70s light fitting, which is still full of dust because I haven't got to clean it. I've got this little cabinet, which is nice too. And we have all sorts of plates and glasses, little coffee cups, more glasses. In the cupboards, crockery. All bits and pieces. A sausage maker, because that's essential in Italy. And plates. I haven't cleaned this yet, but I will go through it and see what I'm keeping and what I'm not. Crockery. Oh, it's not crockery, that's cutlery. Now the fireplace. I have had this going and it works fantastically. So we can open that up and then you can cook on that. Now, unfortunately, unlike the Canaras where you can shove them full of big logs and they'll burn overnight, and so you can wake up to a nice warm house, this fireplace, as you can only get the smaller logs in, it doesn't burn overnight. So unless you're going to get up and keep topping it up, you're going to have to deal with a cold morning. The neighbours did say though that that fireplace should be sufficient for overwinter. And if not, I do have another fireplace in the dining room, but it's not connected. And she said I could easily connect that one as well and just add it to the same flue system. So that's something I can look at in the future if need be. And as far as emptying the ash, that just happens down here. So you can easily pull it out and just chuck that in the garden. Great little system. Now the other heater that I talked about is this one. So all the bits and pieces are in there. See, you probably can't, it's a bit dark. Ash. So I also have this interesting, I think it's an antique. I'm not 100% sure what it is. So if you have a look, this bit at the bottom, that lifts up, comes out. Oh, does go back in. This also pulls back. Now up here, you can lift that handle and you can see there's a point. But it doesn't come through to the other side. Maybe it's a nutcracker? I don't think so. What could that be? Anyone out there that has skills in antiques, let us know what you think it is. It is positioned next to the fireplace, and that's why I thought maybe it's a wood splitter, but I don't think so. It's something else. Now we have all these clown pictures, which I don't mind. I don't mind them. They're okay. The table. Now the table's nothing exciting. It's just Laminex. We have a serving table. So this is on wheels. And these detach so you can put them on your bed. But the roof, I don't know if you can see, but that's got a curve to it. So I'm thinking with that roof with the curve, I don't know if you've seen old places which have been redone and they've got the brick showing. So potentially under there, and I'm presuming it would be the case here too, I'd have that lovely brick. So I could expose that and have that as a feature. Off the dining area, you've got this impossibly small kitchen. So this oven does not work. That is just storage space. I'm actually using it as storage as well now. You've got the sink, which is quite nice. That's like a ceramic oven. Oh, not oven, sorry. The stove. Now that is fed by gas. And that's what they use for a little oven. Now I do like over here, above the sink, you have this cupboard. And my grandmother actually had this same setup in Moonee Ponds. So you wash your dishes and instead of putting them on a drying rack, you throw them straight up there. And as you can see here, that is drainage. And you pull that out and then you just empty the water from there. So it saves on a bit of space and gets the dishes put away straight away. So that's a great space saver. After working in the kitchen for a little while though, I've realised with some really good redesign, you could fit more in here and it would work quite well. So I think I could get it to be quite a good functioning kitchen with some minor adjustments. Up there, you've got another interesting light fitting, which is quite cute as well. The light, it's hard to see and I'm too short. We've got the fan, and this is the wall. So that goes through to the entry. And I do think I could easily push that back. And especially if I was going to redo the ceiling to expose that brickwork. All the flooring in the house is this beautiful terrazzo. So it's bits of granite. Here it's a different colour. But that's a extra special feature of the house. The bathroom, the bedroom is more yellow. From the dining room, we also got the fridge. They've left us this 100-year-old fridge, but surprisingly, it still works. So that was handy. From the dining area, you walk into the bathroom. The light goes on from the outside. So another glass door, very nice. Just a basic setup. You got your hot water system, which works. I have the bath. Now I'm still doing some cleaning. A bidet and the toilet. Now the toilet works, but the flush doesn't. So you just have to open the system and do the flush manually. Now the window here is broken. Open that up. They've got a heap of plastic stuff, I guess, for privacy. Not like you need it because there's just bush beyond it. Maybe that's to stop bugs. I'm not sure. So that's your bathroom. Now there is a shower, but when you do take a shower, a lot of the water comes out on here. A little cabinet. Now it has got the little light up here. Oops, nice and bright. So you can see what you're doing. Now the washing machine, I'm going to have a whole episode on this thing. So I won't say any more. It's given me some fun times. That's your bathroom. Back into the dining, and they're all decent size. Like, this is not a tiny house. This is a good size, especially for a single person. Okay. Moving back through to the entry, through this door, entry again, and then into the lounge room. Another room I haven't cleaned yet. So some old couches, I'm not too sure about those. They look like they're 500 years old, and because they're material, they'd be a bit grotty. More pictures, some little cracks. I don't know if you can see. Goes up the wall, and again, that curved wall, curved ceiling. So I could expose those. Another, let's go from the other side. There you go, another light fitting, which is quite unique. Piece of furniture. Now, lots and lots of baskets, because outside there is lots and lots of fruit trees. So my theory is they'd use those baskets to collect all the fruit and let them sit so they weren't all jammed up in bags and getting rotten quite quickly. So they're definitely going to be coming in handy when it's time to harvest. From the lounge room, you walk through to what I presume would be a study or possibly a second bedroom. It's quite small, but not ridiculously small. It's got a bit of furniture in here. Let me just go back. There we go. But in here is really quite exciting. So this room gets all the morning sun. Now I have bought myself a vacuum cleaner, which I'm very excited about. That just arrived yesterday to do some decent cleaning. But this room, it gets the morning sun. And I would love to turn this into a door and have a little balcony so you could sit out on your balcony, just a tiny one, and capture that morning sun. And you can hear the fountain from here, and you can yell at your neighbours if you need to, because that's what you do in Italy. So many exciting things in this room. I was very happy to find all the tools. We've got a paint scraper. We have loppers. We have a jack. That's heavy. What else is there? Oh, there you go. I didn't know we had that. Stucco. That's what I need. I'll be able to fix the plaster myself. A very old Jesus and Mary. Oh. What did I just break? Jesus, Mary. Oh God, I'm short. A hedge trimmer. Oh, there it is. Hedge trimmer. Oh, clamps. If someone messes with me, cleaver. A whole box of seckies. I can't think of the name. Not a hammer. Let's just go with that. Files. Oh, there is an axe. Tom said there was no axe. I found an axe, Tom. Needs some maintenance though. Sharp. Another interesting. And a hatchet. Is that a hatchet or that's not a splitter? That's a hatchet. And this is exciting. I already saw this and I was really excited about it. I'll actually insert the original footage. I think I've got it of me finding this. So my old. Oh, that's cool. Old paintings. Let me have a look at one more. Couple of Picasso. Oh. Prince of Hey, I know that one. Oh, okay. That's cool as. Yeah, Picasso. I have an original. Can you see that? That's like an Asian design privacy screen. What's that up there? Oh yeah, for like growing vegetables, like seedlings. Oops. A very big bag of wool. Now, all the pillows in the bedroom are actually filled with wool. So this is maybe to keep them full. And I did find this too. What's that? Oh, that's more wool. Look at this beauty. Ugh. An old radio. How cool. Okay, let's go to the bedroom. From the dining room, you walk into the bedroom. Now this door does close, but it's stuck on the ground. So, well, it did close last night, but it closes. So I'm not sure if all those little movements in the house are something for me to worry about. Now, excuse the mess in here. So you may have seen this in one of the shorts. I'll insert the original footage about that. It's a... Cool. It's like, oh, it's a full pedal. Do you think?
Is that the Luftwaffe?
The what? It's a German? Oh yeah. They're nice. I've only got plastic ones at home. What's this big material?
That's Italian, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, it's not German. Another big window. So lots of light coming in again. And out to the garden, which is my favourite place. A very big wardrobe, very Italian. I think if maybe I whitewash it or something, it might look a bit better. But it's functional, you know, it works. Does what it's meant to do. Little side tables. Now these switches are great because they turn off the main light. And there's the chandelier for this room, which I don't mind. Now here again, as you can see, the stucco's coming off. We walk outside the front door and then we go up to the roof. Actually, there's this little room here. So this is like a wood storage room. It does leak. That's why these buckets are in there. See the cracks in the stairs? Storage of wood and other bits and bobs. Pipe. I think that's from the stormwater, like, you know, your gutters and things like that. Been doing some washing. Let's go upstairs. Neighbour's cat. Go on, away you go. And from here, you actually get a really nice view. You probably won't be able to see because the distance. If I zoom in, there we go. See that beautiful view? If the trees were chopped, you'd get more, and you get an even nicer one from the top of the block. Okay, this is another double door. There we go. How does it go in? It's very cobwebby in here. That big one. Okay, so this is like an attic. It hasn't had any work done to it. I would like to convert this when I have some money so people can stay, family and friends. And lots of interesting things again. So old suitcases. Oh, I didn't know we had a blower. I've got a blower. I've got, is that a hole? I've got a barbecue, like coal barbecue. Another massive old suitcase. Wine kegs. So that's the space. So I figured I could easily fit 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and in that space, like a kitchen diner. I reckon I could even get a small lounge room. Now the roof itself is fine. So it's actually got some new beams in it. Look at those cobwebs. Wow. Like we're not in Australia where we have every dangerous thing in the world. Old bikes. It looks interesting, doesn't it? Like, what sort of building technique is that? But that goes to, so it's an attached house. So that goes to Diego's house, which is abandoned. So he doesn't live there. Other things live in there, but we'll talk about that in another episode. Now, I don't understand this. If anyone out there knows, why, like it's all double or triple brick there. Cobweb on me. Why does it only go to there? Or have they taken that down? Can you see that? This is the chimney. So that's all in good order. Okay, let's get out of there. It's got a slant on it, hasn't it? I don't think they're necessarily holding up the roof. I think they're just there in case. And this is where they've closed in the windows. So up here used to be opened. It's strange, and especially down in the cellar, it's even more strange what's going on down there. If you look at this monstrosity, there's actually on the outside of the house, you can see a little window. Here again, can you see that they've closed in a window? Not sure why, but interesting. I'm just going to take you up to the top of the block quickly, just so you can see the view of the little town. It's really lovely, but I will do a garden tour another time because this is just going for too long. Now the lawn or the weeds up here at the top of the block are still extremely long, so I haven't gotten to that. Now, as you can see in the distance, there's some hills. I'm going to zoom forward so you can see the little town. There you go. So all the vineyards and the town up the top. And I'm here down in the farms. Best place, I think. I can still hear the church bells, which is quite lovely. I really like that. There's a slight bit of a road noise, but only if you're outside. You definitely can't hear it inside. And it's only every now and then because there's not many cars on the road there. But there's the view. Now, I hope to have a little chair up here once the lawns are all cut and sit here with yet another Aperol Spritz. I'm sure Kaz would like to join me there with an Aperol. Okay, let's go to the cellar. Last room, and probably the most interesting as well. We come through the front gates and down to the cellar. Another set of double doors. Anything in it?
No.
Here's a ring. It's a bit creepy. Can't turn the light on. Is it that way?
Just one. Do the other one.
Is there one? Oh, yeah, it's coming on. This is the first time I've seen it before. It's dry, it's damp, it's cold.
That's what I said.
And the tiles. Oh, it's a bit crumbly. That's nice.
Ah. That's what that is.
What? Oh, it's falling down.
Yeah. You'd want to render this
Yeah.
to seal it in because the moisture. That is the.
Good bug. How could it be that way though? It's not, yeah. Is that a baby rattle or something?
Mm-mm. No, I got it to open the key. I got the key to move. Key moves.
I'll open the well and try not to drop the phone down it. Okay. Oh. Hello? It doesn't smell or anything. It seems clear and good. Now the interesting piping system, but I'll be doing a whole episode on that. That's the water, so getting the water on episode and the piping system. If there are any plumbers out there, please watch out for that episode. Now this is the door that was closed. Like we couldn't get into it when we first arrived. We have since managed to open it. So I'm gonna swap cameras. I'm gonna put my 360 up because I haven't got a torch, and I'm gonna use this phone's light so we can have a look inside. Okay, so open the door. Now, at first when we were open this door, we thought, oh shit, the whole thing's caving in. But that's not the case. It is still a bit dodgy getting up. But then we saw stairs and we're like, what the hell? Where do those stairs go? Hoping this is bright enough. Oops. So they're the original stairs that would have gone up into the house, but they've closed them off. So they came down and went down here into the cellar. So you can see, go up, some old bottles, and these are the footings, which look pretty good, really. That's the floor. But the curious thing is, if you see here, there's this nail. And Tom suggested that maybe that's where a kerosene lamp would have hung. And then you use that to go down. But also, when you look from the other side, I'll show you in a minute. Oh, there's the arch there. And I'm thinking, have they just put the arch in for structural, or was the arch another doorway? And then that would suggest that maybe there's a further cellar underneath here, underneath the steps. Can you see there is this other arch? And that's all been filled in. May have that been a door, or, you know, a smaller cellar going through. So I would love to get someone in that knew old builds and could maybe direct me on what that would have been, and if it's worth us maybe smashing that down and seeing what's behind it. Maybe we can find some old Roman gold. That'd be good. Anyway, for now, it looks like that. Would I do this again? Do I personally think it was a good investment? Most definitely. I love the area. I've travelled a little bit around Italy now, and I keep thinking I've chosen into the perfect spot for myself. I do think I've got the best food up here, and I love the closeness to all the other areas that I have. I would 100% do it again. I still, though, don't feel like it's real. And I don't know at what point it will start to feel real. I am absolutely loving the journey so far, though. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of the reveal? Would you do something like this? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think I got a good deal, a good bargain? Especially with all the equipment and all the furniture. That's got to add another 10,000 easy.